Bulgari Falkar. This one heralded to be one of the finest designer releases ever. If you read or watch reviews on this one, you know, a lot of people seem to really love it. But I have a few thoughts of my own that I'd love to share with you. So if you're considering purchasing this, please watch this video first. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Scent Review. So I have a very special fragrance here I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today. It's Falkar from the Le Gem line of Bulgari. So right off the bat, there are not a lot of YouTube reviews about this one out there from the Le Gem line of Bulgari. Every other member seems to get eclipsed by Tiger's immense popularity. Another reason why there are not many reviews of this one is because it's just extremely expensive. Nobody can afford this. In fact, I didn't even purchase this bottle. I'm borrowing it from someone so I can review it, and I would never pay full retail for this. However, if you do check fragrance websites like Base Notes, Parfumo, maybe even Fragrantica, there are a lot of written reviews on this, and all the reviews seem to be quite positive. A lot of people seem to really enjoy this. A lot of people say it's the best designer release, you know, ever released. But I disagree, and I want to share my thoughts with you guys. So, Le Gem line from Bulgari. It's Bulgari's private line, extremely high priced, very overpriced in my opinion. And each member of this line is based on a particular gemstone. So this one right here, Falkar, if you can see this, it's based on the Falcon's Eye gemstone, which, you know, it's a rare gemstone. It's said to have healing and relaxing properties. So this one here, Falkar, is based on the Falcon's Eye gemstone. There are other ones in this line as well, like Oram, Gyan, Onek. Onek is another really good one. And of course, Tiger, the one that everybody knows. So the outer presentation, the box here, niche level packaging, as far as the eye can see at least. When you open this, there's a little part here for the bottle to fit in nicely. But if you see around the edge here, it's very papery, it's very flimsy. You know, I don't think this justifies a $350 price tag if you ask me. I've seen better presentations from cheapy Middle Eastern fragrances, honestly. But anyway, Bulgari, Le Gem, Falkar, this is the box here. I will say the top part of the box is pretty solid. Feels like cardboard, maybe even plastic. This doesn't bend. It's just this, you know, golden, tacky little part on the inside here. I think they could have left this one out. Or alternatively, they could have covered it with something. I honestly don't care about presentation at all. I just wanted to show you guys. I just thought the part about the little gold, flimsy, papery holder here was noteworthy. You know, seeing as this fragrance costs $350 at retail, you'd expect the packaging to be up to par, but you know, it's not always that way. However, the bottle itself, I will say, super, super solid. This has got to be my favorite bottle design in all of designer perfumery. I just think the bottles look super solid in the Le Gem line from Bulgari. To me, they kind of look like stone obelisks in a way, and I think that's fitting because each fragrance of the line is based on a particular gemstone. So the bottle gets a big 10 out of 10 for me. Really, really like these bottles. Best part is it's a magnetic cap as well. Super solid. I like the gemstone touch on the top here, although it's plastic. There's a little bit of turquoise, amber, black, and opal that we can see here. I think it's really solid. Everything about the bottle is just fantastic in my opinion. And on the bottom here, we have the usual information and the batch code. So like I said, I'm borrowing this from somebody so I can review it. I don't want to waste too many sprays, but I just want to give you one little spray here to show you how awesome that atomizer is. Really nice atomizer, strong, powerful, wide. Really, really nice here. Okay, so the part that matters the most, how this smells. What I actually detect in this fragrance is nutmeg and grapefruit in the top. I get some musk and cypriol oil in the mid. And I get a lot of oud and leather in the dry down. So in the opening, we get a huge blast of nutmeg. That's gonna give it a warm spice, kind of sharp. It reminds me of cloves in a way. And that's mixed with some grapefruit, some rindy, citric, bitter grapefruit here. And in the mid, we get some musk and cypriol oil. The musk in this is warm, smooth, woody, but there's also a sharpness and a dryness to it. It's not animalic, but it's sharp and dry, while at the same time maintaining that kind of fluffy muskiness that we get in a lot of fragrances. Very nice, mixed with some cypriol oil. The cypriol oil is gonna give it a very sharp, woody, balsamic, kind of spicy tinge in the middle. Very nice. The cypriol oil could be a little bit off-putting to some people. It's very sharp, very balsamic, spicy, with a little bit of warm woodiness to it. I personally love it, but it's not going to be for everybody. And in the dry down, this dries down so amazingly. Oud and leather. The oud is barnyardy, although it doesn't go like totally animalic. It's not the strongest oud out there, but it's there and it's a little bit dirty. And the leather, very sun-dried leather. It's animalic as well. Reminds me of like a horse saddle that's been outside in the desert all day drying. So the dry down in this is going to be quite challenging, and it is also very different from the opening. Smelling this in the opening gives you absolutely zero indication as to how this fragrance dries down. The opening and the dry down are totally different worlds. So yeah, this starts off with that nutmeg and grapefruit and with a little bit of that musk in the mid. It really reminds me of Tiger, also from the Le Gem line. It's like the opening to Tiger, almost the exact same, only this one here, Falkar, has that added warm spice coming from the nutmeg. But other than that, the opening is like super similar to Tiger, and that's something that not a lot of people talk about. Like I said, there's hardly any YouTube reviews for this one out there, mostly because it's so expensive, nobody can afford the damn thing. But also on Fragrantica, Base Notes, Parfumo, whatever, you know, review websites. There's not a lot of people that draw the comparison between this and Tiger, which is why I think it's really important to do your research before you buy something, especially something as expensive as this. And I gotta say, a lot of times Fragrantica, Base Notes, Parfumo, not the most accurate sources of information out there. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. You know, the opening of this is almost a dead ringer for Tiger. Very similar. The only thing is like this one has a little bit of that nutmeg warm spice in the top. But you know, as this dries down, it totally changes. And my favorite part, the oud and the leather in the dry down, oh my God. I gotta say, it's a really nice fragrance. It's very well blended. It goes through distinct phases. It's a journey. It's a scent journey. It really is. It's a wonderful fragrance. But I think the price tag attached to this is absolutely outrageous. I think it's disrespectful in a way because this does not smell like a $350 fragrance. I'll be honest with you, no fragrance is worth that much money. It's all about the status. That's what the price tag is about. This is marketed towards affluent people. You know, this is not carried in your average perfume store. The only places you're gonna see this in person are specialized perfumeries in rich neighborhoods. Although in my opinion, it is not worth anywhere near the asking price, it still is a very good fragrance, very nice. But like I said, it's not worth anywhere near $350 for a 100 milliliter bottle. So, you know, if you've been thinking about buying this, I would recommend that maybe you hold off because it's a lot of money. You know, I can think of a million better ways to invest $350. So if at all possible, please try to sample this first, order some decants online, or try to find, you know, a high-end retailer of fragrances. Anyway, I will say I would never spend $350 on this. But I gotta say, from Bulgari, from the House of Bulgari, probably the best. It's the best I've ever smelled, and I've sampled a lot of them, probably all of them at this point. This is a really good one. I will say this though, don't get discouraged at that huge price tag. If you've been really wanting to buy this, if you've been doing your research, I recommend actually purchasing 2 fragrances and layering them. So I recommend first off, Afnan Tarathi Blue. That smells exactly like Tiger and it costs like $50. I'm gonna post my review of that one up here actually. So I recommend layering that one with Black Incense Malaki by Chopard. Layering those two is going to get you 80% of the way to smelling exactly like Falkar here, and you're gonna save just a ton of money doing it. You're gonna get around the same performance as you would with Falkar as well. I will say Falkar has pretty damn good performance, projects almost at an arm's length for the first 2 hours, but as a skin scent it lasts for like 11, 12 hours. Great performance, but like I said, layering those 2 other fragrances is gonna get you pretty close in terms of smell and performance. I will say that Falkar has some really good quality oud in this by the smell of things. And the leather is also very nice. This is gonna be more barnyardy, a little bit more challenging than that mix of Black Incense Malaki and Tarathi Blue that I mentioned. But you know, like I said, that combination that I mentioned is gonna get you pretty damn close to how this smells. Although I gotta say, it's been a pleasure having this fragrance for the little time that I've had it. I have to return it, unfortunately, soon. But very good fragrance, definitely. However, I just don't recommend it at this price point. Come on, Bulgari, what are you thinking? Anyway guys, my review might have sounded negative, but you know, I gotta say, really nice scent. It's just this price kind of pisses me off a little bit. Anyway, hope you take this review into consideration if you're thinking about buying this. Anyway guys, it's been a pleasure for me to review this one for you. Until next time, keep it real.